Hi, welcome back to EAI Pulse. It's the 14th of November 2025, and I have Oliver here again. You were our first. I think you might know you maybe not our first, but we're pretty close to our first. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yep. So today, similar sort of story to most weeks. We're going to take you through the news over the last week or so. We've now moved to a weekly show rather than a two-weekly show because there's a lot of people starting to ask us about it. It's interesting. People are starting to ask for the news and they wanted more regular updates. So here it is. We're now on the weekly show. So what's happened in the last week? So a lot of stuff around AI chatbots with emotional support over the last couple of weeks, or last week or so. And some really interesting things. So I've got a featured stat here that says 72% of teens used an AI companion recently, like in the last 2 to 3 weeks, that's a staggering idea to me. And I don't even really understand what that means, to tell you the truth, but it's a little scary that teens, so people that are probably not adults, talking to an AI for a companionship or advice. And like it's a staggering number. Apparently it was in ABC News, Business Insider, a bunch of other things. But yeah, look, it's crazy to me. Is it? But like you're quite a lot younger than me, Ollie. What's it think? What do you think about it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely becoming more prevalent. So I noticed that there's been especially from X and Grok, there's been a lot of these companions coming out.
Okay.
So there was actually a number you could call to speak to Annie, which was one of them.
Really?
Yeah, it was a WhatsApp number, and they've since launched them on the X app. So you can go on there and they've got different modes and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's definitely an emerging market. So
it's pretty amazing. I mean, in theory, I suppose, in terms of being able to have a chat with someone, like it's always better to have a chat than not have a chat, right? Like get it out of your system. But I suppose if it does start giving advice or it starts doing anything that sort of psychologically should be in probably maybe better therapist hands than an AI, it starts to get a little bit worrying. But yeah, look, I didn't know that at all. That's crazy. I'm going to have a look at that and see what it's like. I have to restart my Twitter/X account. So what else have we got? Employees, worried about sort of clear safety disclaimers and psychological support, scalable low-cost supplements to traditional therapy coming out and people talking about that and what that means. Obviously, a little bit of fear in sort of the therapists' medical world about, hang on a sec, what are we going to be doing if people are doing this for us? Look, once again, like in most areas, people are sort of pretty worried about this is going to replace my job. But, really like what we talk about, trying to turn it into a calculator. Like how do we take this and it does the stuff that we don't want to do and then really improve the quality of the services and things we do over and above that, yeah? The thinking and what we provide. Is any of these sort of discussions happening, like you're in the enterprise AI world or in the AI world every day, but with your friends and they turn around and they ask you about what's going on, did these sort of discussions come up, whether it's therapy or taking my job or any of that sort of stuff, or nobody really thinks about it?
I think that it still trips over a lot of the time.
Yep.
And what that means is people's perception of it is slow to change, I think.
Yeah, okay.
If you're not using it every day, you might touch it and then leave it for a while.
Yeah.
But I think in this space, everything moves so fast. If you're not on top of it every day, you're going to miss what's changing.
Yeah.
So, I think that basically a lot of people are seeing the differences in how it's evolving. But I think not everyone's paying attention to just how quickly it is moving.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So not too worried then, because they're not watching it as close as we are.
Yeah.
I'm not worried though, so there you go. Anthropic warns AI-driven cyber attacks linked to China. Hey, look, it's a couple of things here. One is we read sort of Western-centric news, and whenever there's a cyber attack, it's either coming from China or Russia. Now that may or may not be true. Don't know. I'm not a spook. I don't work in ASIO. But it just does seem very common that, something happens and it's definitely coming from either China or Russia. Maybe it's because they've got so many people there, I don't know. Right? But, another very populous country, it never says it's coming from India. But I sort of think that crooks and gangsters and stuff like that probably live in every country, yeah? I don't know. It just seems some strange stuff. That's number one. And the second one is probably the sadder part. for me at least, is as soon as new technology comes out or anything new comes out that can be used for good and for bad, straight away, cyber attack is sort of the thing that everybody's doing. And so Anthropic's been hit from China. We've got they're spreading into sort of just like you spread into any everyday tool. It's becoming a weapon, right? And people are actually using it for all sorts of interesting things, from identity theft and making that easier to do, from making sort of phishing style emails and calls, which we've all seen happening, but now they're actually Anthropic saying, hey, it's now attacking us, right? To get sort of directly to the source, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anthropic, by the way, is, if any of you have used Claude, Anthropic's the company that owns Claude and runs Claude, as opposed to OpenAI and ChatGPT, et cetera, or Microsoft and Copilot, or Gemini and Google and Gemini. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think that's like a really interesting topic, because on one hand, these companies like Anthropic and Gemini, and Google and OpenAI want their systems to, they don't want people to abuse their systems. They don't want their AIs to make, malicious code or go and solve captures, and they don't want their AI to be used for bad purposes, right? But on the other hand, there's a lot of legitimate reasons why somebody might ask Anthropic or OpenAI to write some malicious code.
Yeah, okay.
So what I mean by that is, like, imagine you're a security person and you want to get AI to help improve your system.
Yeah.
Well, you'd want the AI to test your defenses, right? However, that could be malicious based on what you're attacking. So it's an interesting ordeal for these companies to figure out how useful their AIs can be in this domain.
Yeah, got it. So, yeah, it's sort of like almost like a gun argument. Like it's either in police hands and it's potentially good, or it's in a criminal's hands and it's potentially bad. But if you don't give the police a gun, then maybe they can't protect themselves or us. So yeah, strange sort of situation. Never thought about it that way. It's really cool. Look, I don't know whether there's much else here. I did want to get onto you again and talk about sort of, it's been a few months since we spoke, and the world's moving pretty quickly, and sort of we're moving really quickly. And I just wanted to talk about some of the changes in sort of your life and the team, and how's it been and that sort of stuff. So why don't we start with that? So what's changed in the last couple of months?
What's changed? So I'd say that we are moving at a faster pace, which is cool. I think that these agentic coding tools are helping us do that. So I'd say for the whole software life cycle, really, from the planning phase, using these agents to help research and formulate plans quicker and come up with ideas that are more abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Our progress to plan, our ability to plan is being accelerated, and then actually executing and implementing what we've planned to do, I think has also been is speeding up. Now, one thing that is interesting is that the errors and the AI is getting better, and I think it's taken a big step up in the last couple of weeks. So we've had a couple new models come out, which are second to none, right? So these models are continually getting better, but the latest couple ones from Gemini and from Anthropic are really good. And the whole internet's buzzing with just how good they are. We went to a conference a while ago, and there was this test that one of the presenters put up on the screen, and the test was, let me get AI to make an image of a pelican riding a bicycle. Right, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. There were some strange things that came out, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Well, interestingly, the ones that have come out in the last couple of weeks have been really good.
Okay.
So you've got real pelicans riding.
You've done the test, have you?
Oh, I've looked at the results. I've seen the results. So for people at home...
How do they get those little legs to go around the...
Yeah, well, you have to look it up. For people at home, it's sort of just showing that these models are able to continually get better at stuff that's really a bit it's not in their training data or something they'd normally encounter, right? Not many people are going to ask AI to do something really, really obscure. And now these models are able to handle that sort of that sort of task, which I think shows that they're growing in capability, and that's reflected in our day to day because there's less things going wrong. We're able to move faster. We're spending less time, telling the AI, hey, you're tripping up here, you're tripping up there, and I think it's accelerating our progress.
What's that mean for your job?
What that means for my job?
I'm giving you the hard questions. Here we go.
It means that I can now juggle more things at once. So previously, like when I got this job a bit over a year ago, I was working in one repository at a time. That's like having one Word doc open at a time and just working in there. And now I'm in like 4 or 5 repos or Word docs at a time, going between all of them, managing an agent running in each one, and just like cycling through them.
Yep.
So you're juggling more things at once, and I think that's it's a different way of working.
And tell us a little bit about AI slop. So this is the term that sort of is bouncing around all the time. And what is it, and why does it occur, and what do you do about it? Do you just pick it up with a shovel and chuck it in the garbage bin, or what do you do?
So
I need a slop bag, I need a vomit bag, or what is it? Tell us about it.
So AI slop is becoming less and less prevalent, I'll say.
Okay.
And what it is basically you've given the AI instructions and the AI has either not understood it or has gone in the wrong direction, but the end result is the output of the AI is not that useful. So there might be, one good thing in, 2 paragraphs that it's output. And that's annoying, and it is time consuming because you have to go through the whole output and verify everything and make sure that the AI is not producing stuff that is irrelevant or wrong. And as these models become more advanced and more capable, I'm seeing that is happening less and less often, which means that we're able to, the AI is getting more capable, and it's understanding what I intend to do better. Now, that's a real problem because when you start having AI write lots of code or generate lots of output, if there's a large amount of slop coming out, that's a large amount of work for you to go over and check and verify. But I think that it's becoming less and less prevalent. And it's interesting because there's now more and more tools to help manage that.
There it is, guys. You've heard it here first. AI slop is lessening more and more as the capability of these things get better and better. So it's cool. Thank you very much, Ollie. Great to have you on board. Thanks very much, everybody. See you again now in a week.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Bye.